I thought I'd kick off the year by taking a look at 10 new motorcycles that you can buy in 2025. One admittedly is a concept, but we have been told it will be landing in dealerships this year. The rest of the bikes are just bikes that caught my attention. There's no particular ranking for these bikes, so I'm just going to go through these alphabetically. So let's start with the first one on the list, which is the BMW F450 GS. The bike made its appearance at EICMA, where it created quite a buzz. In a world where bikes, and particularly adventure bikes, have been growing in capacity and weight, it was good to see BMW pitch something smaller. Obviously, they already offer the 310 GS, but the F450 concept looks to be a much more purposeful machine. Taking its styling cues from the R1300 GS, the 450 offers a much more stripped back lightweight experience. The all-new twin-cylinder motor offers 48 horsepower, and the bike's curb weight is rumoured to be just 175 kilograms. This should mean a peppy and manoeuvrable machine with pretty aggressive off-road looks. It doesn't appear to be a small bike in stature, just in cc's and weight. One note to make about the engine is the unusual choice of a 125-degree crank firing order. This is said to offer good low-down torque, but with quite an even spread through the rev range. Although the production version may well be different, it's interesting to see 19-inch front and 17-inch rear wheels, although I don't think that will change. These wheels are spoked and have tubeless tyres. Handguards and a neat rear rack feature too, with a short stubby screen and a very tidy rear light integrated into the frame. As I said, BMW indicate that the bike will be launched in 2025, but at this point there's no indication around pricing. Moving from Germany to Italy next, and Ducati, who have recently announced the launch of a new V2 motor, which has created a little bit of consternation amongst the Ducatista. It's an engine that will feature in a number of bikes, including the Panigale and Street Fighter, but for this video I wanted to take a look at the new Multistrada. I really enjoyed riding the previous model, so I'll be really interested to see how this performs. The new 890cc engine has an overall weight of 54.4 kilograms, which is a whole 9 kilograms lighter than the outgoing Super Quattro and 5.8 kilograms lighter than the Testa Stretta motors. This has been achieved by shaving component weights, such as hollow stem intake valves, and more radically developing the cooling system without the water-oil heat exchanger. This is now integrated into the chambers that directly contact the cylinders. There are two versions of the engine, one which puts at 120 horsepower and one at 115 horsepower. That's the version fitted to the 2025 Multistrada, which offers a little more torque, lowering the revs. Given the reduction in weight, however, the new bike should have a noticeably more sprightly feel. There are three flavours of Multistrada: the V2, V2S and V2S Travel. The engine performance is the same across those models, it's just the spec that differentiates them, with the Travel coming as standard with panniers, centre stand and heated grips. I'm looking forward to riding this new model at the first opportunity. Heading from Italy to Japan now with Honda, who have got a couple of new offerings in their lineup. So I'll start with the brand new Hornet CB1000. There will be two versions hitting the showroom this year, the standard model and an SP version. The SP gets a boost of power and torque, as well as a smattering of top-end components such as Öhlins and Showa suspension, Brembo brakes and a quick shifter. The bike is powered by a modified 2017 Fireblade 4-cylinder engine, which in the SP version gives 155 horsepower at 11,000 RPM and 107 Nm of torque at 9,000 RPM. That's a modest 5 horsepower and 2 Nm extra than the standard model. The Hornet has 3 set rider modes: Rain, Standard and Sport, as well as 2 extra user-defined modes. Supporting the engine is an all-new steel twin-spar chassis which offers torsional rigidity, improving handling. 41mm Showa upside-down forks and an Öhlins rear shock are fully adjustable, and the stopping duties are taken care of by Brembo 4-piston radial-mounted Stylema brake calipers. Styling is relatively aggressive, but nothing out of the ordinary. If you've seen the Ducati Street Fighter or the Kawasaki Z900, then you'll instantly recognise the CB1000. But in a way, I think that's good because it's not a bike that's going to split opinion on looks as some others may do. It's, I think, a handsome looking machine. But it's the aggressive pricing that surprises the most. The standard CB1000 Hornet can be yours for just £8,999, and the SP model with all of the bells and whistles comes in at £9,999. Judging by the overwhelmingly positive opinions following the European launch event, this could very well be the naked bike of 2025. Let's stay with Honda for the next bike, but take a completely different approach by looking at the new GB350S. This retro-inspired air-cooled single-cylinder machine slots into what is becoming a crowded marketplace, but perhaps the Honda reputation and build quality will elevate it above the others. The 348cc motor gives you 20 horsepower and 29 Nm of torque in a compact and low chassis with a total curb weight of 178 kilos. The seat height of 800mm is very manageable, and a slipper clutch, selectable torque control, full LED lighting and retro-inspired round clock should make for an enjoyable bike to ride and own. It's a fantastic looking machine, and with a price of just $3,949 on the road, it's definitely going to be a bike to watch. The halfway point of this list sees us looking at another brand starting with H, and that's Husqvarna. Now, I had to decide if I should go with the Vitpilen or Vitpilen, and I've chosen the latter purely on the basis that I think it's a more striking looking bike. Now, of course, Husqvarna are essentially KTM bikes that have been allowed to play in the dressing up box. But that's one reason I like them. They tend to have a sharper, more contemporary style, and that's not changed with the 2025 Vitpilen. Available in either silver or yellow, and I found myself being driven to the yellow bike for some reason. The Vitpilen is powered by the 799cc twin motor found in the Duke, providing a lively 103 horsepower and a curb weight of 180 kilos. It's got all the mod cons you would expect with the TFT dash, riding modes, connectivity, etc., but it's the styling that makes the bike stand out against its middleweight naked competitors. The headlight will divide opinion, but unlike its orange siblings, at least this one is round and has a neat modern look. The sculpted tank and sleek seat and tail make this a striking looking machine, but of course looks are objective. So even if you don't think it's got a pretty face, the Eager engine, premium WP Apex suspension and lightweight wheels should guarantee an entertaining ride. Huskies have always had a price premium over KTM, and at £9,995 the Vitpilen is no different. But if you want a sporty middleweight naked, this bike offers you something that is just that little bit different. Speaking of KTM, the next bike is from the orange side of the fence, and it's the new 390 Adventure R. Like the BMW, this bike is yet to be released, so details are a little bit thin on the ground, but it's an equally interesting bike. It's quite different from the previous 390 Adventures. It's not based around the Duke chassis, it's an all-new design. The bike very much straddles that space between an enduro bike and the middleweight adventure offerings. It features a bigger 21 18-inch wheel set compared to the current model, and is rumoured to offer somewhere between 44 and 48 horsepower depending on where you pick your figures up from, and it will tip the scales at 185 kilograms. It's definitely a more rally inspired bike, and I'll be very interested to see what comes to market. Okay, so we're very much jumping around the globe in this video, so let's head next to India. The Royal Enfield brand continues to go from strength to strength, and the new Bear 650 builds on the success of the Interceptor. Based around the same tried and tested 650cc parallel engine, the Bear offers a more rugged street scrambler style inspired by the Big Bear run. This was a race of sorts, covering the 100 miles from Los Angeles to Big Bear Lake. There was no set course, riders just chose their own route, which sounds chaotic at best. The Big Bear run started in 1921 and lasted until 1960, where 1,000 riders took part, which led to the California Highway Patrol shutting down the race. The winner of that last race was Fast Eddie Mulder, who was riding, yep, you guessed it, a Royal Enfield 500. It's a smart looking bike with its knobbly tyres, spoked wheels, high bars, upswept exhaust and short scrambler inspired seat. But there's some nice tech too, as it features the Tripper Dash, which offers full Google Maps navigation mounted in a suitably retro round housing. It's more of a street scrambler with only 130mm of travel on the front and 115mm on the rear, although the 184mm of ground clearance should allow for some exploration on the gravel. At 214 kilograms, it is not a light bike, but that motor does thump along quite nicely, and with a price of £6,749, it's going to offer a lot of fun for quite a modest outlay. Back to Japan now for another lightweight offering in the form of the Suzuki DRZ4s and 4SM. The DRZ4s is an unapologetic rebirth of the legendary DRZ400, one of which I owned for a while a few years ago. It's an off-road focused machine with an all-new twin-spar chassis and single-cylinder 398cc engine, putting out 37 horsepower and a matching 37 Nm of torque. The bike tips the scales at a svelte 151 kilograms with a tall 920mm seat height. There's an LCD display, LED lighting, 3 riding modes, switchable traction control, switchable ABS and a ride-by-wire throttle. It looks like a very purposeful machine and it's a nice nod to the original. But if off-roading is not your thing, then you can choose the DRZ4SM and get all that I've mentioned in a sleek supermoto style. I'm sure both of these models will be very popular as Suzuki continue to make a comeback. Number 9 on my list sees us heading back to good old Blighty to take a look at the new Triumph Tiger Sport 800. It's a touring machine at heart and offers an alternative to the Tiger for those that require road-only adventures. The 660 Sport has proved to be popular and the 800 offers more muscle, although the bikes do share the same chassis. The triple motor offers 113 horsepower and 84 Nm of torque in what promises to be a smooth and linear power curve. I used to own a Tiger 800 and I must admit I do prefer that engine over the engine that's in the new Tiger 900. I just thought it was a much better road engine and it didn't really suit off-road at all. At 214 kilograms, the Tiger Sport 800 is a reasonable weight, and with its fully adjustable shower suspension, it should offer a comfortable ride over long distances, but also a thrilling experience when things get twisty. I think it's a nice looking bike, neater than the Tiger 900, and for me it would be the one to choose over the GT Pro. I even find myself drawn to the yellow paint scheme again, although there are 4 variants, all with a classy look. At $10,995 it also offers decent value against its competitors, and it's a bike that I wholeheartedly look forward to riding this year. To round off the list, we head back to Japan and Yamaha. There's a few bikes that I could have chosen from their stable, but unusually for me, I plumped for the R9. It's powered by the fantastic CP3 890cc 3-cylinder engine found in the MT-09, XSR 900 and Tracer 9. It's an engine I've loved whenever I've ridden it, particularly in the XSR 900, and it's a great choice for a sports bike. Some people are bemoaning the fact that it's only got 117 horsepower, which is actually less than some of the competitors' 600cc sports offerings. Given the R1 is now only available as a track bike, at least here in Europe, places the R9 at the top of Yamaha's road-ready supersports bike. Is this a mistake? I don't think it is, given the ever-slowing sales of that 200 horsepower class of bike. The R9 has more usable power for the road. It's certainly a very quick bike, and of course spec sheets don't tell the whole story. 117 horsepower and a fully wet weight of 195 kilograms makes this a tantalising prospect. Yamaha, I think, have delivered a sports bike for the times. I think it's a beautiful looking bike, sharp styling whilst at the same time retaining flowing lines. It's certainly easy on the eye. The winglets are straight from the MotoGP grid and add a purposeful look. The R9 retains the iconic Delta Box frame, which is the lightest one ever on a Supersport model at just 9.7 kilograms. It's also dripping with premium components, Brembo Stylema monoblock calipers, fully adjustable KYB suspension, 3 rider modes, lean sensitive traction, slide and brake control, as well as 4 power delivery modes, wheelie and launch control, and even 2 engine braking control levels. A quick shifter comes as standard, and that's all controlled and adjusted via a clear 5-inch TFT display. For those that want to stretch the R9's legs on a track, the inbuilt electronics pack also allows you to analyse your performance via the Y-Track app, giving you access to a wide range of tools and riding data. It's a beautiful looking and comprehensive package that will set you back £12,250. So that's my list of bikes to watch in 2025. Now, it's not an exhaustive list of all bikes that are coming to market. It's just the bikes that caught my eye, ordered alphabetically, and it's brought us off a real mix of different machines. As ever, I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on these bikes in the comments section down below. And whilst you're there, why not let me know what bike you're looking forward to seeing in 2025. I hope you enjoyed the video. I quite like making these sort of videos, so I'll do probably a few more of these throughout the year, but this one's done, so all that leaves me to say is until next time. Thanks for watching, take care, ride safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye!